Considering our present and our future, it's important that we're as strategic with our virtual communication as we are with our face to face. Now, there are many elements that can make us a more influential virtual presenter that can help us be more persuasive through this virtual setting. But for this video, let's just focus on three, and three of the more important ones. Let's focus on eye contact, where to put the camera, and effective use of transitions, and how we're utilizing our signposts. Let's get started. Eye contact is one of the most important immediacy behaviors that we have as a presenter. Eye contact has been linked to warmth in a speaker, trustworthiness, goodwill, credibility, influence, and persuasion. Better said, if we have eye contact with our audience will view us as more persuasive. And this goes for the virtual world as well. Our ideal goal with our eye contact is to look at the camera the entire time, because we want the person watching this video to feel like we're making a connection with them and to exude that warmth that immediacy behavior of eye contact gives us. Now, I know it's difficult to look at that camera, right? You'd rather be looking at yourself because, am I looking good today? Or maybe I want to see the people I'm talking to. I want to see their nonverbals. Are they digging this? Are they not digging this? And we also, it's weird talking to a camera, right? Like, feels like I'm talking to Hal from 2001 or I'm talking to some machine. But we have to push ourselves to always be looking at that camera to build that warmth. We have negative connotations with people who don't give us eye contact. We tend to think of them as uncertain about what they're saying or cold, aloof. We tend to look at them as having low ethos. But eye contact reverses all of those things, and again, has been linked to more influence and persuasion. If you're having trouble looking at the camera, try to humanize the camera as much as you can and give it a name. Put googly eyes next to the lens if you have to think of it more as a person and to think more of the person on the other end of that camera than just this inanimate object. Our second element is camera placement. The key with this is to always put your camera at eye level. This will enhance your ethos and make it easier to watch for the audience. The last thing they'll want to do is watch a video where they feel like they're looking up your nose the whole time or above you. This is not it. This angle hurts my credibility, my authority, and makes me appear less influential. We don't want to just take our laptop out, put it on our desk, tilt it back, and shoot it straight up my nose. Not exactly my best angle. Nobody looks good from this angle. Don't believe me? Here. Take a look at this picture of Margot Robbie. This was taken with the camera at eye level. Now, let's look at a photo from Margot Robbie with the camera not at eye level. Jarring, isn't it? There are many elements when it comes to camera placement in terms of like our lighting and our background and our framing. For right now, just keep in mind the camera is always at eye level. Finally, let's talk about effective transitions, or what we call signposts. We never want to just give our audience this large sum of data and say, you figure it out. Instead, we're able to hold the attention of the audience by constantly reminding them where we are in the speech and where we're going. We break our presentation up into smaller bite-sized chunks that are easy to digest. So now we might have 5 elements that we want to go through, and we're constantly reminding the audience which element we're in and where we're going. That's where transitions come along. Now, award-winning speakers will oftentimes use movement to help showcase and mark and emphasize a transition. Well, we don't have that ability because we're stuck in this frame. So for us, it goes double that we have to make sure that our transitions, those signposts, stand out. You see, in the virtual realm, there's a plethora of distractions for the people at home. So it's our job as the orator to constantly remind them where we are and where we're going. I like to use what's called a restate forecast model of transitions. So I might say something like this. Now that I'm done with my first element on why this case is clearly a fraud claim, I want to move on to my second element, X. This works because if someone lost track of my speech, they could easily pop back in because they knew, okay, this speaker has 5 elements, they're done with the first element, and now they're moving on to the second element. We're constantly reminding the audience where we are and where we're going. In the virtual setting where Zoom fatigue is real, there's always a little bit of that audio lag when distractions are amok. Keeping the attention of the audience becomes paramount, and one of the best ways we can keep the audience's attention is by transitions. You see, ask any comm scholar, and they'll tell you that effective transitions are one of the top two ways to increase understanding within an informative or persuasive speech. So for us, making liberal use of transitions, a big deal out of the transitions, using pauses and using our words to constantly remind the audience where we are and where we're going is vitally important. There are many elements that go into making us a more influential virtual communicator and making us more persuasive through these virtual means. Today we've focused on three, but I tend to believe these are the three more important ideas. We focused on eye contact, how we're always looking at the camera and not the screen. We focused, two, on this idea of camera placement and always putting the camera at eye level. And three, we focused on this idea of transitions or signposts. It's tough to hold the attention of the audience through these virtual settings. So we need to do everything we can to be as strategic as possible to hold their attention, captivate them, and influence them. Thanks for watching.